Welcome back, and my colleague, brother Inayet Wadee, is now going to join us to talk to us about the Hamza Chalan tour in South Africa. Alhamdulillah, we're going to talk about Soweto, Emmarentia, and Bloemfontein. Those were the places that the crew attended over the past few days, and then going forward as we wrap up on the tour to South Africa, which other towns will they be going to? Inayat Wadi, Salaam Alaikum, welcome. Are you still feeling strong and able and ready and raring to go? Alhamdulillah.
Wa Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to you, Julie. Assalamu alaikum to the listeners. Yes, the adrenaline is still pumping at this point in time. I'm sure it will continue for the next week as we head towards the final leg of the tour in KwaZulu-Natal. But yes, it's been quite hectic, as has been the case with previous tours. But what we find is with each tour, it brings a very different dynamic, a different angle. And the Hamza Chalan tour, obviously, very, very different because he is a content creator, a photojournalist. So a lot of visuals at this point in time, and clearly being the reality of this genocide, and more importantly, looking at the psychological terror that has been unleashed by the Zionist entity for well over 413 days. So each tour, each event, very, very different. And I haven't had the opportunity of visiting, in fact, Soweto and Emmarentia, but I can tell you about Bloemfontein, I can tell you about Mafeking, because that is new ground that we've covered, that has been virgin territory as well. And I must say, very, very impressive. And it's actually amazing how Hamza Chalan and the Salaamedia team have been welcomed into these towns where we've never ever been before. And I'm sure going forward to places like Newcastle, Ladysmith, and Port Shepstone is going to be very much the same, Julie.
Subhanallah. And once again, the big heart and deep pockets of the South African Muslim community comes to the fore. And this is being witnessed by this tour that not only this tour, all the previous tours that Salam Media has undertaken. And it's absolutely heartwarming and overwhelming. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of those people that has made this possible and it dug so deep in their pockets to continue allowing Salam Media to make these type of events a possibility. But more importantly, what has Hamza been saying about the tour, the hospitality, the love, and the support by the South African people for him and our Palestinian brothers and sisters?
Well, Julie, as the case with Hamza and many of the Palestinians, and I know you've spoken to many over the years as well, when it comes to South Africa has got a very, very special place in the hearts of the people of Palestine. And if there is one country that they look up to for support, and also at the same time looking at the warmth that they receive, the welcome that they receive in South Africa, looking at the South African government in itself, in its support, and people right across the entire board and across various spectrums of South African society, they truly, truly appreciate South Africa. And if you will recall, Julie, when South Africa had taken the case to the ICJ in Ramallah, there's a statue of Nelson Mandela, and alongside the Palestinian flag, the South African flag flew very, very high. So South Africans in general held in very, very high regard. And again, just so different in terms of South Africa, in terms of our warmth, in terms of our hospitality, but more importantly in identifying with the Palestinian cause. And for me, and I think for Hamza, that actually featured very, very strongly throughout the visits that he's made so far and the reactions that he's received from people of South Africa.
Subhanallah. Talk to us about Mahikeng and Bloemfontein because it's the first time Islam Media has taken a tour such as this to these towns. They've never seen anything like this before. They've been exposed to the Palestinian situation, what they see on media outlets. But for a Palestinian to come and share his stories with them firsthand, what was the reception like? What basic questions were put to him that we may not have come across? you know, in our work with Palestinian activists?
Actually, what I found that featured very, very strongly in both Mahikeng and in Bloemfontein is Hamza brought the personal touch, actually, because they've had, in fact, when you look at both Mafeking and Bloemfontein, in the past they have had events in support of the Palestinian cause. They've had fundraisers to support the people of Palestine through a number of organizations like the Gift of the Givers. But having somebody like Hamza coming there and providing them with a first-hand account, that alone has been a very, very emotional experience. In fact, in Bloemfontein, I had one of the aunties that came over to me and she said, he had me bawling actually. That means, she was actually in tears. And what Hamza has actually brought to them is the reality on the ground. I heard the interview early on about gender-based violence, and Hamza brought the reality of the women and the suffering of the women, and again, the resilience and also the strength of the women. A lot of focus on the children of Gaza as well. And that obviously has touched a nerve. And these are the types of questions. In fact, from a political side, Hamza obviously steers away from any political discussions. But more importantly, it's the humanitarian aspect and the service of humanity. And this is what he has succeeded in doing. And this is a realization that many have come through, both in Mafeking and also in Bloemfontein, that we need to continue, we need to be relentless, we need to take this campaign to another level. We shouldn't be suffering from fatigue because this genocide has been going on for over 413 days. They haven't slept, they haven't had a single night's sleep in Gaza for over 413 days. But again, what Hamza is telling people in South Africa, that continue regardless, make use of whatever we can, whatever resources we have at our disposal, but more importantly, from a media perspective, because if one looks at the background of Hamza, he started off as a content creator, telling the story of Gaza, the positive side of Gaza that was just before October the 7th. And suddenly, when October the 7th, he had to obviously change direction and focus a lot on the genocide. And this has been his strong message, very, very powerful, very, very profound to all of us here in South Africa, that continue doing whatever we can and make use of every available resource at our disposal to continue telling the stories of the lives of the people of Palestine and Gaza in particular.
I mean, and to wrap up then, Inayet, let's talk about the close of where Hamza Chalan's work. Where is the crew together with Hamza headed for? And obviously expectations are high.
Well, tomorrow he will be hosted by the Roshni community. That's taking place tomorrow, which is on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we head off to Ladysmith. There is a dinner. And thereafter, Thursday, it's Newcastle. Friday, Port Shepstone, and culminating in Durban, inshallah, on a Saturday. So it's going to be quite a busy week, full 5 days each and every night. There is going to be an event. I must say, Julie, obviously it is exhausting. It is very, very tiring. And for Hamza himself, obviously the anxiety that he has suffered as a result of being 7 months during this genocide, during the height of the genocide in Gaza, it hasn't been easy, but we will definitely soldier on. We're providing him with as much support as we can, not trying to overwork him, not trying to overburden him as well, giving him some rest in between. But I must say, all in all, it's been fascinating. And once again, hats off to Shamshir Khan, to Ponti as well at Salaamedia, and the entire Salaamedia team that has rallied together to make this another successful tour, alhamdulillah.
And I can't let you go without commending once again. I repeat those names: Shumshid Khan, Ponti Islam Al-Ihsani, and the entire crew here at Salam Media on the win at the PMR Awards last Wednesday. Do you have any thoughts on that? Alhamdulillah, I was jumping for joy. Well, not jumping, but I was so, so pleased. Um, and so excited that once again Salaamedia has bagged this honor. It does say a lot about the visionaries that we have, and of course the hardworking team that make everything happen.
Yes, Alhamdulillah. In fact, I missed out on the PMR awards this time around, but Alhamdulillah, we were very well represented. But once again, as you mentioned, Julie, it's a small team, but a very, very dedicated team, a committed team, a very hard-working team. And, it's not size that matters. You don't have to be corporate media. You don't have to be global media. You don't have to have fancy offices. All it takes is dedication. All it takes is sincerity and commitment, and things will happen.
Subhanallah to one and all. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala take Salaamedia from strength to strength. And of course to Shamshir Khan, to Ponti Molestani, and to you, Inayet, really work very, very hard. Apart from presenting your shows right here on online radio, you are also very committed and hardworking as far as tours are concerned. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept your efforts as well. And can't wait for next year to see what this pulled out will happen once again, because this is going to be a very hard act to follow. But Allah, Ghafur Rahim, will inspire our leaders to continue working at this pace and working hard for the emancipation of not only Palestine, but all oppressed, subjugated communities all around the world, inshallah. Go well, drive carefully, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept your efforts. Assalamu alaikum.
I mean, Jazakallah Jali. And once again, thanks, Jazakallah, for having me. Assalamu alaikum.
Always a pleasure, and that, of course, is brings us to the wrap up of the show. It's 10:26 a.m. I'll be back with you tomorrow morning at the same time. Take care on the roads, inshallah, and stay safe. Assalamu alaikum and Khuda Hafiz. From me, Julie Ali, and of course, our producers, Natsu, Nasri Naidu, and Putti behind the controls.
We are here in the middle of a Zahra neighborhood. The whole neighborhood is already destroyed. More than 17 towers are down. Here, as you can see, the firefighters trying their best to help the people are still under the rubble. A lot of the people.
Join Hamza on his exclusive South African tour as he shares his personal experiences, never before seen footage, and powerful insights on the ongoing genocide in Gaza. This is more than just a talk. It's an invitation to witness Gaza through the lens of Hamza Chalan. Don't miss this opportunity to meet the photojournalist who brought Gaza's pain and perseverance to the world in its darkest moments. Follow Salaamedia on social media pages for more on this tour and be part of the conversation.